Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Basscast Radio. I am your host, Brian Carter, and I can say our co-host, all of us. We got the team back, everybody. Brucey actually asked last week where we're going to have the whole team back, and I said, no, not this week, but we have everybody back this week. Trevor Wagner, for you guys who are watching on YouTube, I hope you all have subscribed by now. Thomas with Fishing the DMV. And Bass Geek down there in the bottom left. So great show tonight. We're just going to shoot the old shit, what we used to call it, and talk about bass fishing and the Jason Christie win from this past weekend, which they on the river, it's only, I looked it up. I think it's a little over 4 hours from the house. We really kind of wanted to go, but I don't want to do the whole entire weekend. So we just decided to skip it because we will be traveling the next couple of weekends. By the time this comes out, we either went to the James River or we have gone to Kerr Lake. It's still up in the air because I said I was going to go where the most boats were because that's where the money, you know what I'm saying? We got to go for the best bang for the buck. I mean, it's the gas has dropped a little bit, men, but it hasn't even dropped that much yet.
Did you see that thing on did I send it to you? I think it was where they said like the average gas burnt in that competition was like over like $40,000.
It was insane, man. Yeah, that was
$40,000 a day, right?
It was crazy, man. Oh, I got it's Scope's fault though.
Yeah, Scope. So I think that was what the Iran war was over. Was Scope?
I think so. I believe. Yeah. I saw Jordan Lee was bitching about that too. About fishing this place, and it's like, dude, the problem was where you launched from. Like, yeah, there's a lot of weight there, but again, the county that gave him the money to have the tournament was just in the ocean, which was if the marina was a little different, I don't even think there's one marina they could have used. I think they could have had preposterously stupid weights each day.
Wow,
the weights are already stupid. They were huge.
Yeah, I mean that lake has shown out for the past two years.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful place.
Or whatever.
It's a beautiful place. I've been down there for FLW event, and it's a beautiful town. It's a great little place. I mean, like I said when I talked about the last time, it's like a little Mayberry town. They have a great location where they host the event. So, yeah, I wish I could have gone, but it is what it is. But want to thank everybody for listening to last week's episode. Thank Geek for dropping a great June tip for you guys. Hopefully by now you've all checked it out. Trevor dropped his fantasy fishing picks for the event. And I think one of your lone wolves stayed in there for quite a while, if I remember correctly.
It did. And then one of them, I want to talk about his story because he, with fantasy fishing, Fisher Anaya was one of my lone wolves that stayed. He almost pulled a miracle comeback because he only had a couple fish on day one and ended up mashing them on day 2 and 3 to get himself in the top 10 and then made a run at Christie. I mean, he ended up second and he was basically 2 bass away from actually winning that event and being in his second event. If he would have just caught him a little bit better on day one, he would have won. But Logan Parks was on my list, and Logan Parks fought and made it into the cut going into Saturday. But on Friday afternoon, he was on his boat and he was fishing. And then the tournament director called him, Lisa Talmadge, called him up and said, hey, he put it on speaker and put it on social media, says, hey, you need to call your wife right now. He goes, well, what's going on? Her water just broke and she's at the hospital. Wow. You need to call your wife right now. So kudos to Bass and, Lisa for calling him because, they can't use their phones. He couldn't, if his wife was calling, he can't answer it. Otherwise he'd be DQ'd. So he's talking to his wife. She's in the hospital. She's dilated only at 1.5 inches. It's their first kid. So, it takes a little bit of time. Those of us that have kids, we know that your first one, it takes some time. So he worked through, he contacted like one of his non-endemic sponsors. She was like, hey, you need to call Rick, see if anything can happen. And so he goes in, he asks everybody, hey, can I get to the front of the line? And they let him go up to the front, weigh in. As soon as he got in, and his sponsor got him a jet to get on to fly him home. He made it home in time to watch the birth of his son. And so I lost fantasy points because he didn't fish on, the next couple of days. But you know what? Kudos to Logan Parks. And man, what a great, God is great kind of story, where the TD gets on there, calls him up, says, hey, call your wife, see what's going on. And she was like, hey, if you want to stay and fish, it's okay. And he's like,
that is awesome.
I'm coming home. So, yeah. So,
and if Logan, if you get us a sponsor,
that was a cool story.
That'd be great.
What's that? Yeah.
I said, the story was great, and then he got a private jet. It's like, whatever sponsors those are, could you write a book on how to get them, please?
That would be awesome. I would love to have a sponsor that has a private jet. Good God. Because that is not cheap. I mean, I've listened to a lot of podcasts, a lot of talk about people who have private jets, and we're talking about a lot of money.
Do you have a lot of people in your circle that have private jets, Brian?
No. I listen to a lot of podcasts for business related.
One or two would be a lot to me.
It is something.
Yeah,
go ahead, Trevor.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, so yeah, it would. As far as the fantasy fishing side goes, it was a really good event for a lot of the ones, but not too many people had Jason Christie on their list winning it. So that was. A lot of people had Trey McKinney, who he did finish. He didn't make the top 10, but he was up there.
Right.
So
I'll tell you,
it was there. But we did have a change in the leadership as far as in the Basscast fantasy group. So the Woos are not in first place anymore. It's Top Raider 88. DeChanteau. DeChanteau is taking the lead. And I've actually clawed my way back up to 21st place,
All right.
Clawed my way up. So, but yeah, it was.
We're only two events left, right?
Yeah, only 2 events. The next one is a non-scoping on a scoping lake, which I think is pretty freaking awesome. And then, of course, the last one will have scope. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah. But again, that's kind of where we're at with Bass is taking a month off. This weekend, when this drops, Major League Fishing's Grand Lake event is going to be over. Now, Grand Lake, I could tell you right now, again, they'll catch this afterwards, but it's muddy. Jacob Wheeler will be fishing in it again, but we got hit with some storms, and so it's pretty muddy. It's dirty water right now. It's not very clear, so it'll be interesting to see. I'll talk about that if you watch the Friday episode before the first cast, I do a preview of the Major League Fishing event taking place on Grand Lake, along with Bassmaster Open. That'll be up on the Upper Mississippi. Kind of talk through that as well. So,
circling back a little bit though, I'm telling you, anytime it's a river system, you better make sure you got Christie at the top of your list. It just seems like he's good in that situation, no matter where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that I had Welcher on my list. He did okay.
Yeah,
but he didn't have the event that he had last year.
Oh, no.
But of course they were there during different times. But last year he obliterated. He won the event after day 2.
Yeah,
it was insane. What
the biggest deficit in history, I believe it was.
It was crazy.
Yeah. All right, so we got special guests with us tonight. Thomas Aarons fishing DMV. He's been busy as hell.
I mean, chilling outside in the nice weather.
He is actually. I wish I could take my stuff outside, but I can't because I have a table, but I don't have any chairs. So it is what it is.
But you also have a job, which is also nice.
I want to know what's in the kiddie pool thing back there. Is that like peanuts? Is it?
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So if you guys don't know, I am working on a ranch. Basically, it's my parents' ranch, which is about 2.5 hours away. So I just brought my whole setup because Brian was just begging me to make sure I didn't miss again. And I was like, I can't do this to Brian. So I got this, and Daddy Elon Musk with Starlink is keeping us beaming in to talk about an impressive event. Honestly, the weights were way better throughout the board. It wasn't as good on the top end, but through and through, more people caught them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of catching them, we'll talk about the baits here in a minute, but one of the guys that finished third caught a lot of his bigs on that last day. That was not a Coike. He was throwing the Berkeley chop block around, so he was throwing a little glide bait action. And Hunter Shryock almost, he was making a run, but watching that clip, it was awesome what he did. He picked him off with that chop. So it was awesome.
Where's the next stop at again?
It's north. They go north.
It's Mississippi and Champlain, right?
I think that's right.
It is.
Well, we all have computers. 5 seconds.
Give me a second.
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't mean to throw a question.
You're good.
It's a curveball. They're off for like a month, so I haven't been paying
Lake Champlain, August 13th through the 16th, and then the St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence is
reverse.
So St. Lawrence is a scoping event. You can use scope there.
Correct.
Right.
But
Champlain is no scope.
Yeah. I wonder, because, the smallmouth stuff, a lot of times how they catch those smallmouth. And this has always been a question to me. Now, I'd probably play more on St. Lawrence because what they'll do is, they drop a drop shot down and then they would just drift.
Yeah.
But, didn't they kind of outlaw the long lining, which is kind of sort of the same thing? The whole drifting, I don't know, man. I don't know how. I don't know if, I'm like, it's not that bad. But then I'm like, is that really legal? What do you guys think about that?
I think all these rules are stupid as shit. It's just they don't. Have you seen the South Park meme of the bankers cut the chicken's head off and throw it on the thing, and wherever it falls is the new banking terms? It's like some of these rules, it just feels like they throw stuff and see what happens with it. And when I just wish a couple of these things would be adjusted a little bit personally, but I don't want to get your channel demonetized.
It can't go no lower than it already is. Shit. 0 plus 0 equals 0. All right. Do the math.
It's examples like the little thing, even professional athletes can have an emergency phone on them in case something happens. The fact that there aren't it's just those little rules to the bigger rules of, if your wife is going to give birth, you should be allowed to have a phone that is just to have contact with your family.
Yes.
It's such a common sense thing, but we're not going to do that. And I don't know. I just wish they would hire people that would just make more common sense rules. Personally, I'll just leave it at that.
Joe Montana pressed 9 on the sideline phone and caught his wife. So,
yeah.
During games. If y'all didn't know that, that's a story Joe Montana tells.
So what's up in your world, Thomas? As we kind of go around like we always do. We haven't. You were on 2 weeks ago driving to a job, which we really appreciate you taking time out for that.
Yeah, talking about Beaver Lake, which is fantastic to actually be back there. That is a memory lane when it comes to bass fishing history, and I'm glad that the tourism department finally decided to shovel out some money, because that's the only way people go to fisheries anymore is if they pay, no matter how important they are to fishing culture.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been busy, man. We've been pumping out episodes left and right. I had a very spicy episode. I didn't know if I wanted to do it, but I did it. I dropped the gun controversy about the new Virginia laws because it affects hunters.
I saw that.
I did that, and I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, am I going to lose my channel? But no, so far I'm not. But everyone is just very kind and very articulated in the comment section, like I expected it would happen. No problems at all. And got to sit back and watch the Chop Tank event, or the Albemarle Sound event, because that was dude, the fact that we have a fishery like that where it was almost a little Texas vibe of, you just never knew anyone could catch an 8-pounder. That is preposterous for a tidal fishery. When we were taught by Al Linder that tidal fisheries don't grow big bass. It was cool.
Yeah,
I'm surprised the dolphins weren't eating the big bass. I saw a couple of them, like Jordan Lee with the dolphins in the background. He was showing that around. I was like, good Lord, they have to be eating the bass.
What's his name? He ended up getting a crab in his boat, so.
Oh, Chris Zaldane.
Zaldane, yeah.
No crab in there.
I wonder, Zaldane, what he led day one, if I remember correctly. I mean, took off with a bang, and I was like, he really, really needed that win. I mean, it's been an up and down year for him for the last couple of years, to be honest.
I think Zaldane gets a little too honed in on certain techniques. I mean, I get it, but I mean, to really be good in today's world in bass fishing, and I like Zaldane. I don't mean anything bad, but it seems like he's always throwing a swim bait, a bigger one, or a spoon. It seems like it's like I'm either going to catch them on a spoon or a swim bait or a spoon. That's it. That's all I'm catching them on. I don't know. I mean, and I get it, man. I love throwing both of those. Especially being a Tennessee River guy, but I mean, I'm not going to go to Smith Mountain for that. Well, I don't know. Smith Mountain actually a pretty good spot for that.
It's like a spot.
Especially when the big bass tour is here.
Yeah. So bad example, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So dive into your world real quick, Bass Scoop. What's been going on? What's been happening? What videos are coming out? All that great stuff.
Man, we've got a really good video we just shot today. We've got a couple of good videos we shot today. A great little fishing video. Again, I'm telling you, I've been fishing this bait for like 3 years now, and it is just amazing, especially in those clear water, tough bites, highly pressured bass that love to be pelagic this time of year, be out in the middle. That little Catch Viva Sky pencil is so amazing. It's I cannot sing its praises enough. I think it's going to be maybe the only bait I catch a bass on all year long by the looks of it, into the summer. But we got a really good video. Everybody's on the Coike craze, and I will pat myself on the back. I was the first one to do a video on YouTube on the Coike, other than the guy that actually made the Coike, and he was talking about just rigging it up on a drop shot, which we all know, it's good on, but it's really not the best way to fish it. But I've got one that talks about the differences between the hairy dice and the Coike, and when and where you should use each. So we don't really talk about rigging because there's 8,000 ways to rig them. You can rig them really any way you want, but we talk about the difference in the baits and where and when each one of those shine. So that should be out probably right around this week when this podcast drops.
That's awesome. That's a great video, Geek.
So
I can't wait to watch it.
There's no chicks in bikinis in it, but I am there.
That's all we need right there.
So you guys make sure, I hope by now you're all following Bass Geek's channel. I hope you're all following Thomas Fishing the DMV, and make sure you're Trevor with his channel as well. And don't forget about, like you said, before the first cast drops, I've already uploaded it, by the way, Trevor. It's all ready to go for this week, because they are calling for bad storms in our neighborhood tomorrow afternoon. From the time I get off to the time when we go to bed, they're calling for another rough night. It's either we get like storms or no rain at all. So I guess we just got to take the storms, which there's a tropical storm coming up. So, I mean, I guess that's where we're going to be getting most of it.
So any change in the lakes, by the way?
I was going to say, Smith Mountain going up, or is it state?
No, it's still about 6 feet low, because we had all the rain, and then we haven't had. I mean, it's been warm until this week, but last week it was in the 90s. So it helped, but didn't help. They're still doing pretty good in the night tournaments. I know they're still averaging about 25 to 30 boats.
Yeah.
So, and I want to say a lot of those guys that fish the night tournaments are pretty much, not going to say all, but either have a place on the lake or live right around the lake. So, and I know it's still just the 2 ramps. I haven't heard of any of the rest of the ramps. Have you heard of anything about any other ramps opening back up other than the Oak Grove ramp still being available, and the ramp at, I'm trying to think the name of the marina now. The Oak Grove's the main one. I did hear that one of our lakes out in California, I guess California, the one that's dropping like a foot every day.
Powell?
No, it's not Powell. It's another one. I heard they're like scooping out the water each and every day just to extend the ramp. This thing got that bad.
Wait, out in California specifically, or just out west?
Out west. Sorry.
I think it's the one with the Hoover, right?
Yeah,
that would be Powell.
They're Mead.
Yeah.
Or Mead. Lake Mead. Yep, there you go.
Mead.
We should ask the guy that lives out there.
So yeah, Mead's in really bad shape. So it does kind of.
The thing with Mead has gone down before really, really bad, and they had like boats and cars and dead bodies and all kinds of stuff.
People in barrels.
And then it like You remember Vegas was founded, not in the best way. So
a lot of people go missing.
Trevor, isn't it like a 50 or 100-year cycle out there because of the desert, like where you're going to get droughts?
Yeah, so it goes up so mead will fluctuate up and down. Same with like Lake Mojave, because it kind of flows down from Mead to Lake Mojave into the Colorado River, and then that goes down to Lake Havasu and all that area. So you have Mead, Mojave, and Havasu are all connected. So when one goes down, the other two are going to go down. And then, the dams will try to fluctuate the best they can. But I fished Mojave. I fished on the Colorado River. I fished all those, and they're freaking amazing places to go fishing. But again, you're in that desert cycle of water. So, but a lot of it all feeds from Colorado. So it really depends too, is how much snow and cold they all get, in those Rocky Mountain areas to see it all flow down where it needs to go.
So we need more snow. Smoking out in Denver, it's creating a, pot smog. Just helping the greenhouse gas. It's just not enough snow caps out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely didn't. I mean, I know California last year itself had pretty good snowfall because they hadn't had a good one in quite a while.
Yeah.
So,
they had that.
Yeah, I think you might have the same thing, Trevor. I think they had a late snowfall either in Colorado or California this year. They said helped a lot.
Those late snows really help. Not so much the tourist ski season, but it helps the fishing season later on, because there's a lot of that trout fishing and stuff like that snowfall really helps out. So again, fly fishing, trout fishing, guys are into that. That's where they go. They like that area. There was that, I know, in just little side conversation, but Clear Lake had the kayak tournament not like a couple weeks ago, and dude, they were pulling in 100 inches a day, those top 5 guys. So Thomas measures fish. So you got 100. One guy got 110 inches in a day. Like a lot of times, that's over time you could build that up, but in a tournament, I think the winner had 215 inches. I think that is
crazy
for the 2-day tournament.
And sometimes I get it with logistics and stuff, but this is another thing about fishing is you got to put the anglers on the best lakes. What is the point in having a magazine that shows off the 100 best lakes when you're not going to go to half of them? And
correct.
You're driving from Alabama to Canada when St. Lawrence was good. You need to go out to Clear Lake every 3 to 5 years. You could do it on a rotation like that, especially when you keep ranking the damn thing as the best or the second best lake in the country. I mean,
and it's big enough to hold the tours. Like
yes.
Unlike Ivy, you can't bring bass to Ivy. Now, Major League Fishing can come to Ivy because of the way they divide it up, and not boats. 50 boats now. But throwing a bass or a bass open, Ivy's not big enough to hold it. But again, like you said, Thomas, you throw it out on a Clear Lake, which you say is one of the premier lakes. Yeah. Why are you not out there?
Yeah, you want to print money.
People will make the trip. Yep. Yeah. And I knew a lot of the kayak anglers that they're not from California, and they jumped in a plane, they took their gear, and a couple people had loaner kayaks that they were using to go out there to make it happen. Because again, awesome. If you have a chance to go on one of those fisheries, why aren't you going?
Yeah.
So
wow.
That's awesome.
I agree.
So I saw a post today, I want to say. We're going to talk about the Coike, the bait that pretty much won this past weekend.
Last couple big events.
Yeah, last couple big events about it being banned. I mean, someone kind of wrote out a whole entire post.
Yeah.
Oh,
there
it
it
is.
Hey, look, if you ban the A-rig, the Coike's got to go, boys.
Can all of these boomers just retire and die, please? Good God, I am so sick of this.
That was the whole thing behind it, was because of the Alabama rig, and you know, I don't understand anymore. Why can't we just fish?
No, we can't. We got to complain, because that's what you do when you hit a certain age. You go down to the pub and you complain about the weather. And we can't have any new baits now. It's just got to be that great methylene worm I threw when Andy Griffith was the #1 show in the nation. It's just
we need to ban everything but the oldest spook walking bait, all jigs but the Arky style, and I mean, you know, all square bills but the Big O. That was the original. You know, because we need to. I mean, there's a lot of baits that need to be banned. They're just too good.
It's just some of these fans, like when you have a kid that's 19 years old win with the Coike, and it is the worst thing to ever happen. But then Jason Christie does it, and it's like, oh, it's not that
here
bad.
We go.
Like, some of these people need to get a lobotomy. I swear to God, because this has helped some people's careers, giving them a bait that you can throw under a damn dock and still be competitive.
And it skips like a dream. Yeah, I'm just telling you,
it's a Gary golf ball.
And if you haven't fished it as a topwater, you are missing out.
Oh, you're missing out.
So, but yeah, man, you know, I mean, I went on Bass, you know, Bassmasters, you know, and looked at some posts from Jason Christie. His all love. And then I looked at some posts talking about Fisher, and it's all, hey, you mean this was a scoping event? Holy cow. Well, look how stupid that bait is. He's catching them on. It's less about, I swear to God, it is. And I was talking about this before, and I think this is a conversation that we haven't had. The difference between team sport and individual sports, and the ebb and flow of individual sports. We've seen it in NASCAR. You know, me and Brian are big NASCAR fans.
Yep.
We've seen, you know, the influx of casual viewers when, you know, Earnhardt was the man in black, and, you know, it was beating and banging, rubbing and slinging, you know what I'm saying? And then when all of those guys who, as he brought guys in, some became Earnhardt fans, some became some of the other guys, you know, fans, like, you know, Gordon and this guy and that. Yeah, Jeff Gordon, you know, and now all those guys have retired. And if you talk to the older fans now, what do you get? Well, these young kids, I don't even know who the hell they are. You know, and until, you know, you see that individual step up. With a team sport, you're always going to root for, you know, the Tennessee Titans or the Bears or the Washington, whatever they call themselves now. You no matter what the players are interchangeable, roughly. Yes, you got some that you love, baseball, basketball, that's all team sports. But in fishing and in NASCAR and in golf and in tennis, you see that ebb and flow. You see the ups and downs with the big personalities. Look, golf has had a huge drop off since Tiger ain't winning. Yeah. You know, so, you know, tennis has had a huge drop off since, you know, the Williams system.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that.
So the only, and then again, I will not say I am a golf aficionado, but Tiger Woods was kind of like saying the Michael Jordan. He went across so many aisles of culture to capture things. Like, yeah, that'll be hard to do, but I kind of get your point with that. But when you're dealing with sports and all the sports that you mentioned, here's the thing: there's a low turnover rate. In theory, you could drive a race car for 20 years. You can golf for 30 to 40 years.
Yeah.
Every team sport, you have what we call is a shelf life. You have to perform at a level, and then you're done. Fishing has this issue where you had all these people from the late 2000s until now that built a career over almost 30 years.
Yep.
And we have to come to this consciously. Is it a sport, which means can you perform at this level? Or is it something like NASCAR where it's like, yeah, you're just sponsored by companies and you go out there until you die?
Yep.
And I think that's what you're having this issue now is if you thought every single quarterback you grew up with went through together and they all decided to retire at the exact same time, that's what you're dealing with the fishing community, with the Iconellis and Kevin Van Dams, all these people that we grew up watching. And at this point, it's just being ageist. Like I was more neutral on the whole scope thing, but now like you had a perfect analogy there. Jason Christie throws the bait, it's no issue. Somebody else that was born in 2013 throws it, there's a problem.
Yeah.
What are we doing? The rules.
Yeah. Well, that's the same. Yeah.
Go for it.
And it goes the same, like not just the bait, but the technology they're using as well. Because Jason Christie was one of the first people to really introduce and use the forward-facing sonar, but you never heard any of the hate on it until what was it, just a few years ago, all those young kids came up and started smoking everybody with it, and then it was terrible.
You know,
it's the worst.
Yeah, he won
a classic using it
with the Yum, which by the way, had the Yum JC Natural color in the Yum Minnow, FFS Minnow, by the way, which I still argue I think Tripp had a hand on, and that was actually Kyle Wilcher's. I think, because they had already put the commercials out, I think maybe there was a little extra thumb on the thing, and because they'd already put the commercials out that he was coming back. So, just saying, conspiracy theory. But
I think Thomas hit the head. It's that ageist thing, It's
Christie's 50. He's one of the old boy. He throws a spinner bait.
Yeah, I mean, he won what? He won like 10 FLW events before Bass, and he's won 10 Bass events and a classic. So, the guy's a freaking hammer when he fishes.
He is, absolutely.
Again, you still can't.
Not to dock some of our local tours, but a lot of tours are moving away from scope because they're complaining about it. But the kids that are winning, they're not using scope right now. They're using that Coike in different ways. But because it's a person that is young, it's guilt by association.
Yep.
So, and that's what's so crazy. And that, again, it gets into that culture with the Coike itself, where it's a Rorschach test or an ink blot test, where depending on where your loyalties are, that's what I can expect from you in the comment section about that bait. It's just, it's wild, man.
Well, and I mean, the Coike's been out. Like I've heard people say it's been sitting on the shelves in the stores forever. And then all of a sudden now it's becoming popular and now they can't keep it in stock, but it's been around. So
it's, it's been around in Japan for a long time. But it really didn't make its way over here heavily until about the past, until the dice thing came along.
Yeah, I would say about 2 years
ago, I was in Knoxville and actually found one place that had a bunch of them and, bought them. And everybody was like, I'm not buying these stupid things. Everybody was still on the shelf about, whether they wanted to fish the fuzzy dice, which, I'll have to give it to Thomas. He convinced me into trying those. So might have won a tournament on that. I don't want to answer that or out that for him, but
I've won it
on here.
I've won some cash on it, and I think what made this thing have such a spillover effect is why it's so effective. Is it's like it's been beaten over the head. It's not just a scope bait. The minnow, paying in a minnow as it's colloquially named. It's that you 99% of the time you're using it with scope. This is something that, Reggie, who's 89 years old, that still throws a 8-foot broom handle, he can still catch him. And now he's deadly. And so now everybody in the field can throw it, regardless of your bias towards scope, which is, like we said, circling back is how fans now square that round peg in that hole.
Yeah. And that's one of the things.
The event,
sorry, we're going.
Yeah, the previous event was one on a Coike as well, and that was a no forward-facing sonar event.
Yep.
And then this one had forward-facing sonar, and they were lethal with it again. So, like you said, Thomas, it doesn't matter with forward-facing sonar with this bait. And again, maybe that's why Brian found that article of got to ban it, got to get rid of it.
Yeah, it was a post I saw this morning from another angler, wrote it out, and like I said, he was talking about banning it and based on, the umbrella rig that was banned years ago.
And I was trying to get that person on the show because I wanted to have an argument with him. He's like, but I thought you hated forward-facing sonar, because this is the equalizer to scope, is if you could have a bait that you can catch the same weight without it, and now you want to ban it. So yeah, I just, again, fishing is like baseball, where they want to go back and have it the exact same way it was in 1944, and it never changes. And I'm sorry, the world and everything progresses. You have to get updated with the times. Like,
yeah, but with baseball, what was the era that drove more people to watch baseball and got more people interested in baseball?
Steroids.
Yep.
It was
Everybody loves a dinger,
40s and
baby.
the
Everybody
50s
loves a dinger.
when it was McGuire and Sosa battling it out for that home run record. And then that continued for a couple years. Nobody was complaining then.
Chicks
They
take the
were
long ball,
all for it.
and
I
we like
love
big fish.
Sosa and the Cubs roll it. But back to the Coike, and one of the things that everybody goes on about the Coike, what does it look like? What does it look like? It's an urchin. Man, I think what it really, because of the size, the mass of it, I think the bass think it is a big deal, man. I mean, because if you watch most of the places, it's just like you said, it's really a flipping bait. The Coike, and this is one of the things I touch on versus the dice bait, hits really, it has such drawing power to it.
It does.
And you're seeing guys really, use it. Like, again, me and Trevor talked about one of my favorite baits, one of his favorite baits, a jerk bait. And it's just that popping action because it's so much stiffer than the dice baits, tentacles are. And you can put it in those places, and those big full casts are, they're just drawing those bass out of that cover, out from around that magic dock that Christy found was incredible, to watch that. It's just a different bait, man. It's just so different.
Yeah.
When you pop that thing, it has such a plume action to it. And like you said, because it's rigid, it comes right back, versus the dice, where it just has that almost jig skirt quality of when it's sinking slowly, it just does this articulation, which is two different actions, believe it or not. I just don't know how long this bite will last. Like, the thing with the glide bait is not just a visual thing. There's a vibration that fish get when that thing pops left and right that they feel with their lateral line. Big fish eventually get used to that. They get used to that. Okay, I know that's a glide bait. I've seen it 1,000 times. I can feel it on my sides. How long will this thing be hot? It's almost like the AMC stock boom when that thing went up to like $400. It's like, this thing keeps climbing in price. Should I buy into it now, or when is this thing gonna crash back?
It really does. And I know the bait over time has won a lot more money. At first, I don't know if it's just, at the time that it dropped, it really wasn't talked about a whole lot, but it really was the Cinco. Because when the Cinco dropped at first, there was no worm that you Texas rigged weightless. And back then, there was no fluorocarbon, very little of it out there. You were fishing it on mono, on the spinning rods, and it was just this slow twitch of a bait that the bass had never seen before. And I remember going out when, it first dropped and picking up bags and just catching, 20, 30, 40 fish in a lake where it's hard to catch 5 of just all sizes. And just letting this thing, it's almost like live bait. You just throw it out there and wait for the line to start moving to one side or the other. And that's really, I swear, it reminds me so much of the Coike. I think it is a bait that the bass have never seen, being fished in ways that they've never seen, that soft plastic presented. And, they're going to get used to it. Now, one of the things I want to ask you guys, and y'all know I fish like highlands, deep, clear reservoirs. Now, with the Coike versus the dice, I have not had as much, maybe the clear water, and they can just get as much of a good look. Most of the bass that I catch on the Coike tends to be around cover, brush piles, laydowns, dirtier water, marinas, docks, that sort of thing. I don't have any luck in open water with them.
I don't throw it around. I haven't thrown around open water that much. Mine is.
What is your definition of
docks?
open
Well, just scoping, like your traditional open water creek channels.
Yeah, I said like the back of the pocket kind of open water, or you mean like main lake chasing schoolers kind of thing? You see what I'm saying?
Main lake chasing schoolers, maybe some back of the pocket. Now, I'm interested to see what, like, if you've having it out there scoping, what your watercolor and what the situation, the conditions are too, because I mean, I just have no luck with it out in open water. If I'm around stuff, I catch them on the Coike. I have had more luck on the dice baits, the smaller, more finesse, out in open water.
Yeah, and that's kind of my. I've had way more luck with the dice baits, and I don't know if it's just because when they track it, that natural action of the skirt pluming, they just like that more. I think it is a bluegill imitator. Honestly, I think that's why. If you guys again go mute YouTube videos, but go watch some of these Japanese anglers overseas, like watch how they work some things, and that's what they do. That's why they throw it on those little weighted heads, those tiny drop shots, is they're mimicking something on the bottom, usually is what I've seen over there. And these baits do it effectively well, man. And it's just a different look. I could see in instances where if they are so used to pinging a minnow out deep, maybe as just a pressure thing, they would flip over to that just because it's different. But I think you're 100% right. In general, I think it's a bluegill imitation, honestly, unless you go to the preposterous size. This is what I've heard on like Smith Mountain Lake and Bugs, is when you go to the stupid big version of the Quakey, you just get drawing action, regardless of where you're at. Which,
I mean, but even on those lakes, I mean, there's gills that are bigger than my hand.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I will say this. I have had a little bit of luck around big gizzard shad with the gizzard shad version of the Coike, the full cast. But they have to be up, doing their thing.
Yeah, if this thing wasn't such a good flipping bait, it would not be the same story. It would be a couple of tournaments get won, great. But now that people have opened their eyes that I can use this under docks and I can just do my thing, it's just taking this thing into the stratosphere. I think the Cinco was probably the last bait. Maybe the chatterbait, possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, every tournament is being won with this stupid thing. It feels like it's crazy. But it still doesn't have national acceptance.
Or are you matching the hatch like you do with the rest of the baits, or is it one of the things it just don't matter?
I don't think it. I don't know, because if you look at Christie, he had like 5 different colors.
Yeah.
On his boat, but the water was staying the same way. So
So
you just got to find what you're kind of like with other baits. You just got to find whatever your hatchery likes, and then go with it. But the drawing power has been there. It didn't matter what color I threw, I would still have the drawing power in drawing them out. It was just getting them to commit.
Yeah. And to go full Aaron Mertens autism, because not everybody throws this thing yet. If you go to a lake and no one has thrown it yet, you could probably throw a hot pink and get bites, because it's just so different. I think when you see these pros like a Christie and you have 200 of the best anglers beating a place up for 6 days straight, 100%, I think dialing in the color matters. But talking to people like I do and just the local scene, it's a couple of kids that will adopt the Quakey, and then the rest of the field refuse to use it. And so it is weird, because we are in this so much, and you hear the headlines, you think everybody's throwing a Quakey, and it's really not that way at all, which is crazy.
No. I tell you though, listen, again, I've said this earlier, there's a lot of times in the comment section when I throw out, crazy baits, they're like, "Oh, bass will hit anything." Please email me where your stupid bass are, because I want to come there. Please, God.
They must be on a spotted bass fishery, because those spotted bass are pretty much vicious and will hit anything. So
the only thing I can figure, they're either fishing a farm pond that they're starving to death, or they're like you said, spots, or like a lake just loaded with smallmouth or something.
So I haven't had a chance to get a hold of one yet. They're all sold out everywhere you pretty much look, and they're going from ridiculous prices, these baits.
Now, I do want to say this. They're all made in the same factory in China. As if they're the elastomer, silicone.
Yeah.
So they are all made in the same place. So the So any of them that are that, what is it? I've got some that's literally from the TikTok shop to Amazon to what is it? Hags to, I can't remember. Where did Gary Loomis go after Loomis? What's the company that he's
GSM? Wasn't it GSM?
Might be. I can't remember, but anyway, they make one, and I've got a bunch of them back here.
I got mine. I got mine from Arsenal Fishing. Behind me, I got the Berkeley one, the MOBA.
Yeah,
which is not the elastic tech. There's different. That one actually, you don't have to put that heavy weight because it actually does have a slow sink to it.
You just wait till 2027's iCast. It's going to look like a Japanese hentai comic section. The amount of people throwing this stuff out there. And, and you know it's coming.
Are none of you all going to iCast?
No. My best friend Jacob's going.
To go with me.
Jacob is going, so I've set him up with a bunch of different booths to go to, and I've emailed all the people that have emailed me. And I passed them on to him, so hopefully he's going to be at a bunch of these booths getting content for us. So, but he is planning on attending iCast this year. We're a tournament website. We're not a tackle website, and because of that, you're a tackle website because you teach people how to fish and you teach tackle. We just cover the actual event and what they caught on, and hopefully you learn something from the angler, or you might have learned something, or you just read through their bullshit. Either way. Something hopefully helped you catch more fish on that body of water. So that's what we are. But iCast is pretty freaking awesome. It's huge, and it's a freaking great event. And if you are a tackle junkie, it is amazing. I'm sorry, I am not a huge fan of their award. Their everything that has won best new tackle of the year has fucking crashed. Excuse my French, but it has burned, crashed,
Their
and died.
awards are garbage. It's who pays the most. So.
It is, but other than that, it's great.
Yeah, you really get down there. You know, all the big, we've talked about this for several years now. All the big companies, they've either found baits that they're replicating from XYZ. I actually got a load of them from one company today, and I swear to God to you, they have almost an exact replica of the Viva pencil. It is. I seen it and I was like, I know they've seen this video. I know.
So let me ask you guys this. Everybody here's had a chance to throw it one way or another. If you were to make a change to it, and we'll start with Trevor first. If you were to make a change to it yourself, what would that change be?
My change would be
bigger or weight.
I would say sell it, but have a different weight to it. So the weight could be distributed perfectly in there. So when you hook it, you don't have to sit there and try to put the nail weight in the right place. So your hooks don't flip upside down. So your hooks stay where they are. So the weight is positioned inside there in a way. And there's like, hey, your hook point goes here. And they already have a divot for you to put your hook point through. But that the weight would already be in there, and then you could buy specific weights based off of your fishery. Because again, if you're geek and you're fishing 60 freaking feet of water, you're going to need a heavier weight than one of my reservoirs where it's freaking drying up and 15 feet is as deep as it gets. Well, I need like a little tiny 16th of an ounce to get it to go where I need to go. But that would be my change, is find a way to get it weighted. Because right now that's been, to me, the tinkering that I've had to do is finding the correct placement of the weight I put in to how I put the hook in. So when I put it in the water, my hooks are facing up and they're not pointing. They're not going in the wrong direction.
There was a jig. The poor guy got sued by Bass, and I think Bass took it over. Bass Pro Shop. But there was a jig back in the day. God, it's probably been like 10 years ago. And the back of it, you would actually insert the weight, whatever size weight you wanted, into the back of the jig. And it is a pretty cool idea. Thomas, go for it.
I'm trying to think, like, what neat thing has not been beaten over head with this stupid thing. I mean, I'm going to steal geeks. Like the topwater action, especially for summertime smallmouth, it can be absolutely awesome. Go with a little bit smaller, the half size. You don't have to go with the full softball size for a poor little 15-inch smallmouth. It can be absolutely killer. Biggest thing with your treble hooks is just make sure that they are a strong enough shank. Don't use those micro finesse ones when you're dealing with 8-pounders. You're going to bend it out. That's just going to happen. And then I like Jason Christie's setup, honestly, using the frog hook, especially if you're going to be.
That was a good idea.
Flip. Yeah. It gives you that good strong. This is the one thing I don't like about the treble hook. I just don't, because of my inequities when it comes to setting the hook. When I'm flipping that thing, I want to stick them hard, and I've sometimes had issues with that with the treble hook, and so I like the idea of going with that hook.
All right, Bass Geek.
I mean, for me, there's a couple of hooks out there. Like, I'm a single hook guy, and that's how I still fish them. Big Daddy Baits, actually, Spotlighter, came out. Has came out. They're already sold out with a hook just for the Coikes. They make a long shank jig head for the jig head minnows that works extremely well for them. So you slide it all the way up, and you leave about that much of the hook out the back, even of the full cast.
Wow.
And so you can rig it up high. Now it's going to turn on you as you twist it. But the great thing about it is, because of the head weight, the hook is still up. So when they do bite it, it's straight up into the mouth. There's another company that makes a hook that's got a weight that's contoured to it, to the bottom, which is also very good. I cannot remember that stinking company's name, so I apologize for that. One of the geeks turned me on to that. I mean, that's really, I don't know that I'd make any changes to it. I think that right now the experimentation is just going out. I did love the 2 hooks that Christie did. I thought that was genius. And realistically, I mean, it's kind of why, even in the video that we talked about, that's dropping, this week or next week, I don't know. I didn't talk about rigging because there's just so many options right now.
Right.
That's the one thing about this bait that I really like, because I'm always, if you ever notice, my favorite baits are always versatile baits. They're baits that you can fish from top to bottom 90% of the time. And, this bait's one of those baits. It's literally endless the way you want to fish it. So, hey, get out there and play with it. Don't let anybody tell you, there's a right or wrong way. Carolina rig it, drop shot it, Texas rig it, put it on a buzz bait. I mean, have a good time. Because this bait is, you never know what you're going to stumble on with this thing right now.
And do what you're comfortable with, man. If you like pinging a minnow, use it the same way, ping a minnow. If you're a flipper and you're, born in the 1800s, like, just do that and you're going to have success with it.
Yeah. And see, I'm a jerkbait guy, so I'd love throwing it like a jerkbait. I could skip it right up under that dock, let it sink a little bit, jerk it out of the jock, and yank them as I'm taking them out.
Yep.
But again, like Thomas said, do what you're comfortable with. If you're more comfortable with treble hooks, use a treble hook. If you're more comfortable with a single hook, use a single hook. But do what you're confident in, and that's how you'll have success. Because if you go outside your comfort zone, we all know a lot of times you're not going to get the success. You're not going to have the hookups that you're wanting.
No. It's about adapting the bait to your style. And that's really any bait. You would say that about any bait.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Which is why this bait is so fascinating, because you mentioned adapting to your style. And to ping a minnow, you have to adapt to the bait.
Yep.
For this, you don't have to. It's like any other kind of bait, which is fascinating. But somehow it's still controversial, which is wild. But anyway, we're done with that.
All right, the Corky craze, will it continue through the rest of 2026? We all pretty much agree it will play a major role through the rest of this year.
We're going to start flipping a coin to see which lakes you can use a Coike on next year.
Oh,
what period on the BPT side you can only use the Coike in one period?
Get one period, yeah, to use the Coike.
Yeah, and it was mentioned before, like, will it work for smallmouth? It's like even if it's just by the volume, it'll work. So example, and this has always been something fascinating where it's like, what how much is a bait successful versus like if everybody fishes it, it becomes successful because everybody's fishing it. So regardless of the fact, there will be a ton of smallmouth caught on this bait when they go up north.
Yeah.
Well, and they have the smaller ones, you know.
Oh yeah,
They have the
you can
small
get
ones,
them.
so.
You can get them on TikTok and Amazon, man. The smaller ones, I got a bunch of them, dude. They are freaking great for smallmouth.
Yeah, I got one behind me from Arsenal Fishing, and you have to use a spinning rod to you need to use a spinning rod to throw it, but it's pretty small.
And the dice, the problem with the dice is it's very a niche market. So example is it's like a Helgramite or a tiny tube. Yep. You'll kill it in a river smallmouth event for kayaking or local stuff, but is that going to win a Bassmaster event? No, God, no. And it's the same thing with the hairy dice. It has won a ton of kayak events up near me in smallmouth country. That won't play on Lake Murray or Hartwell.
It's not going to play in Gunnersville when I'm in Gunnersville in November.
No.
Just saying.
Exactly. So,
all right, guys, go wrap this show up tonight. The debate continues. But I'm glad it's moving away from forward-facing sonar a little bit.
Today, no thanks to Mark Daniels.
Today,
at least for today. All right, man. Before we wrap the show up tonight, let's go around the room real quick. What does everyone have coming up? What do we need to watch? What you guys all need to be paying attention to out there? Instagram, TikTok, social media, YouTube, all that great stuff. What is going on in everybody's world? Trevor, real quick with you. We'll go around and we'll wrap this bad boy up tonight.
All right. So in my world, obviously we talk about before the first cast. It's a great show to start your weekend off to. On my personal channel, this is topwater season for me, guys. So if you like topwater fishing, that's pretty much the bulk of my videos. The last couple of weeks has been me breaking down topwater baits. The last drop I did was talking about the flapping frog. Again, the flapping frog by Spro and some of those other ones. You don't need the grass. You don't need the lily pads. You get the drawing power. So I kind of break that down, and then I'd take you on the water and show you the catches. So, we got topwater stuff coming. I don't know. I think walking bait's coming up next, which is one of me and Bass Geek's favorite ways to catch topwater. So nice. I'm a head and spook kind of guy. So, and I like the big ones too. I don't like, they have the teeny ones, but I like the full size. Just could hear it half a mile away as it's coming through the water. So that's pretty much my channel right now is topwater season. I do have a couple tournaments coming up. The big one that I'm really looking forward to is I'll be at Caddo in August. So I'm with the Team Kayak Series. Partner contacted me today, make sure that we're still up for hitting the Caddo event. So that'll be in August. So until then, it's just a lot of me on the water, fishing, grinding away, and just having a good time in the summer topwater.
All right, Thomas.
I'm pumping it out. I'm trying to do 5 episodes a week right now, just because I have that many backlogged. And so probably going to be doing that until the dead season in midsummer. Got a couple more saltwater episodes coming up because cobia season is starting to hit. If you guys know the Chesapeake Bay, it's really big there. So that'll be dropping in, I think, 2 to 3 weeks. We're doing a whole rotation of all the lakes. We got a Lake Chesn fishing report, Bugs, Gaston. We have a couple of really cool guides stuff. You guys all know the deal. So if you want to go check out the area, come on over to Fishing the DMV, check it out. And we'll see you over there.
There you guys go. Go ahead, Basket.
I'm kind of the same as Trevor. It's topwater season. You're going to get some deep stuff. It's my favorite time of year to fish. We're out on the ledges. We're out fishing, in open water. We're throwing swim baits, crankbaits, you name it. If we can throw it out on the ledges right now, it's power fishing. We're throwing spoons, big and small. And that's what you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of topwater right now. There's no doubt. I mean, the topwater bite has been on fire. And one bait is dominating right now. We talked about it on the last show. You might want to go check it out.
All right, there you guys go. Make sure you head on over to the channels, guys. Please hit the subscribe button while you're there. Make sure you hit the follow, subscribe, notification bell. You guys know all that you're supposed to do. It's free. It helps. I mean, I'll be honest, I have questions about you guys too as well, because it's like I have 3,000 people following the Basscast Radio Facebook page, but when you go look at our Basscast YouTube page, it's like 100 people. Where are the other 2,000? Or is it just because it's a group, or do you expect to get something out of it? The get out of it is the show. So make sure you follow and hit the subscribe button. I want to thank our sponsors, as always, English Choice Marine. 3 locations to serve you. Check out their website today. Looking to buy a brand new bass boat or a used bass boat, they got you covered. Missile Baits. Like I said, Missile Baits, John Cruz and Missile Baits. I know him and there was that new what's that new bait he's gonna come out with? Spinner bait, ain't it? No, it's a
buzzbait. It's actually a collaboration with Brazzolo.
Yes, Brazzolo, and we love Brazzolo, and great dudes from Tennessee. We always get to see him at the expo. So another great collaboration for the Cruise missile. So you guys make sure you're following John Cruz. Check out all he has to offer on his website. And I think today, by the way, talking about missile, today was Ike's birthday. I saw that all over social media. So Ike's birthday today. And Just Rig It in Martinsville, Virginia, dude is wide open. He told me it has been busier than ever with people buying electronics, rigging electronics, getting it all rigged up for this year or next year. Guys, don't wait on this. If you are local and you have wrong terms there, ordered your new boat for next year. I know that's going to be happening in the second quarter. And a lot of people are going to be getting rid of theirs because I always hear, you guys want to fish a bass cast? Well, I sold my boat and I'm waiting on the new one. So get your appointment lined up with Just Rig It in Martinsville, Virginia. After you get to Martinsville to buy the boat from English Choice, you pick it up, you run a few miles down the road, you get Paul to rig it for you so you are ready for the 2027 season. You can get it all done right there in one town. So thank you to them for being a part of Basscast and the Basscast Radio. So thank you guys very, very much. That's it for us tonight. Wow. Like I said, anglers, I know some English Choice will be coming up. Tournaments will be coming up here. I think it's like August. The Bass Nation of Virginia tournament will have ended. One of theirs will have been dropped on Curl Lake by the time this drops, be over. And our first BFL on the James River will have ended as well. So there'll be a lot of tournament talk to talk about next week right here on Basscast Radio and what's going on here in the local area. Please pray it rains. Smith Mountain Lake still needs it really, really bad. I mean, it's probably the worst we have ever seen it. So we need rain or what we could get tomorrow. And then, like I said, we record on a Wednesday, and what we could get the next couple of days, which would be a tropical storm. We need all the water we can freaking get. So we don't need it at one time, though. That's our problem. We got this rain last week, and it was a great rain, but it just was like, it was 2 inches in maybe 30 minutes or less. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it just ran right on off this hard ground. So we need the rain. Let's hope it rains. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you right back here next week on Basscast Radio.
See us.